brush this kitty. Hi, how are you? What's up? How's it going? Hi, hi, hi. How are you? Oh my gosh, my cat is going crazy. Thank you for the likes. Ooh. Trick or treat. Hauntingly beautiful Dracula would be mesmerized and write poems about you if you caught his eye. Well, thank you. Thank you for the likes. Wow, your eyes look amazing with that makeup. Thank you. Did you know Paul Walker had dandruff? They found his head and shoulders. Oh. That was funny. A little bit soon. But funny. Stop. Monster, come here. Monster's being a monster. You're lovely. Thank you. How are you? What is going on in everybody's worlds? Hey there. Any music preferences? Hi. Sunshine and Dundee. Betty and Bob didn't die at 100. What's that? You're a beautiful sweetheart. Thank you. Appreciate that. And thank you for tapping. Whoever is doing that. I missed the name, but where are you located in California? How about yourself? I am a Cali girl. Tennessee. It's pretty far. Are you my dad's belt because you hit different? So dumb. But I was born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ooh. You know, Florida, like, kind of has a bad name about it right now. But I think it's all just propaganda on the West Coast, honestly. Because everybody that I talk to that's from Florida is like, no, it's great over here. Hi, friend. How are you? Oh, that tripped me out. The beginning of this video, It goes like this. And I thought it was like my camera. Is Bernice and I getting back together next month? Alberto, did you like the live? Are you single? No, I'm not. Bernice and Alberto getting back together next month. I'm getting a no. Did my boyfriend and grandma do a love spell on me for Anthony? Is Anthony the boyfriend? Or is that a different person? Thank you for the follow. Anthony's, okay, so did Vivian's grandma and boyfriend do a love spell on her? No. These gatos are going crazy. Hi. You're so hyper. Sheena, is the app development going in the right direction? Is Sheena's app development going in the right direction? Yes. Is it going to be slowed down? Oh. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for the follow. You're welcome. I also asked if it was being slowed down at all, and it said no. Is Adam going to propose to Beth soon? Not soon will he be proposing to Beth. Will Adam be proposing to Beth? I don't feel like he's decided on that yet. Fully. Which doesn't mean he won't. It just means that the future is not set yet for that. Does Martin have feelings for me? Make sure you guys are liking the live if you're asking questions, please. Does Martin have feelings for Laura? No. Not romantic, at least. I'm still curious about this mystery female energy you were speaking of. Well, I'm doing mini readings for a Cash App donation. Will I talk to Ryan this week? Will Alina talk to Ryan this week? Yes. Thank you for the rose. Can you guys hear all that noise? Like all the cats running around? Or is my sound thing blocking it out? Come to Nebraska, no commitment. Let me and the boys and their wives show you a good time. What? You guys all party or what? It would be me and my boyfriend. And my 2 cats. Unfortunately, I don't have the means of donations at the moment. best believe when I go to this job, I'm hooking you up. Alright, awesome. I feel like, let's see. I don't remember the reading, because I don't ever remember my readings. It's almost like tarot amnesia, like amnesia, because when I'm channeling, I like dissociate. So, but that doesn't mean anything because I can just get the message back again. So let's see. Thank you for the follow. So this is for Blake. What is the female energy around Blake? Oop, there she is again. Oh, it is a love interest. That you're currently missing. Like, not missing like, oh, you are thinking about her and you're missing her, but missing like the universe is trying to offer you this person and you've been kind of like overlooking it, the offer, the blessing, like because you're still like upset or sad or pouting kind of like about what you feel like you haven't gotten. Does that make sense? Blake. I don't see an answer from you. Tanya, thank you for the follow. Will Daniel and Tanya get back together? Yeah, but there's going to be some games played first. Would it make sense that I'm just waiting on financial stability before? That makes total sense. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do. If you're able to actually plan it out like that, you know. Obviously, if somebody just happens to come into your life, then that would be something that you should still take the opportunity of, though. But as far as like pursuing a relationship, I think it's pretty darn smart to wait until you're at your best for the other person. Should you stop back? Where? Hey, Sweets, do you remember I spoke to you about being dumped after 7 years? Love your eye. Thank you. I don't remember that. I might remember it, but I don't remember it specifically. But that's okay. What's going on? Orange potatoes. Well, I don't remember like any of my readings. That's why, because I was just saying right now. When I'm channeling, like I get kind of like an amnesia because I dissociate during the channeling. I'm curious as to who I'm looking over. Well, I can't give you a name. I'm not that type of psychic. I just even know. I could probably describe the person. I know if I should keep trying or to let it go. Okay. Alright, let me see. Spiritual box. Keep trying. I am doing mini reads for Cash App donations of like whatever you feel like donating. Also. Okay, so it looks like you're still experiencing a lot of anxiety and like feeling like you are needing to like kind of like a jealous like controllingness of like possessiveness of your stability. Did you travel recently? Would you take them back if you were cheated on? No. Well, that depends. Okay, you may be traveling soon, spiritual box. For you to get help and for you to, with your communication for some reason. What does that mean? There may be a return of an old friend who's a solid, practical man, like masculine, in your life, spiritual bumps. This is going to be something that you can celebrate, and it's going to be something that you will come out of your rest and recovery for. So I would not continue waiting on that person. I would keep moving forward in the most positive, and I'm not reading any of the comments right now, you guys, just so you know. So I would keep moving forward in the most positive way possible, and then I would leave yourself open for true love to come towards you. There is a masculine energy who's wanting to help you. You may have to travel to get there or to see him, but it's somebody that you've known before who can help you overcome this anxiety. And it may be somebody that you've met online, or like somebody that you've spoken to online, maybe, or that you've been like looking into, you know, like looking at the profile of, or something like that. But some type of like communication messages, you know. It could be a high school boyfriend, yeah, if that applies for you. It's somebody from your past that's solid, practical, grounded, pretty financially stable. And you. Okay, let me see. Let me see what you've been writing, El Roberto. Okay, would you take them back if you cheated? Okay. TikTok anxiety. Oh yeah, Tanya, if you want to do a mini reading, we can. Just send a Cash App donation for follow-up questions. Oh, you know what? Good bro, don't let her manipulate you. If she really loved you, she would never done it. I don't appreciate it if my woman has lunch with her. Okay, so wait, Roberto, what are you saying? You don't appreciate if your woman has lunch with her ex? I used to enjoy making sandcastles with my grandma, and my mom took the urn away. Thank you for the follow. Roberto. If your spouse is having lunch with an ex, I don't see that as necessarily an issue, as long as you are invited, or who would be invited. But as far as like the lunch itself, like if all three of you went, I don't see that as being a problem. But if you were not invited and it was just something that they went to go do privately, then that might be a bit concerning, yes. It doesn't always mean that there's something bad happening, because I personally am friends with most of my exes, and it's genuinely just friends. But if they're being suspicious about things, or if they're trying to be sneaky, or if she's trying to go without you, etc., then it would definitely be something I would be concerned about. Have I known said person pretty much my whole life? Your makeup is gorgeous. You're beautiful. Thank you. Oh, Roberto, are you in here still? Well, see, here's the thing. If somebody still has... Exes shouldn't be an issue. if the person's actually over them. When they're an issue, then that means that your relationship might be a little bit premature and may need to be put on pause for a little bit so they can actually get over the ex. Because when you break up with somebody, you should be breaking up the romantic interest. If you still have that romantic interest, which is the only time that you would have to be concerned about them with the ex, then that means that the relationship itself is very shaky as it is. So then it comes down to whether or not, what are you saying? Baby looking slay. Thank you. Oh no, they go down. The relationship is already over. Brush your hair. What? Agree. Yeah. So that's what, like, I personally think that people that you have dated in the past are, I mean, they're good people to keep around as far as like having people, you know, like having people that know you, people that can actually support you, who actually do know you. If you didn't break up in a messy, like drama-filled, playing games type of way, if you can just make a clean break and actually move on, then that person is somebody that knows you better than others, and it's relatively safe, I feel, as long as you actually moved on. And that's where a lot of people, they end up breaking up with somebody and they don't go to like counseling. I think counseling should happen after breakups so that you don't, that's kind of like a big thing too, is like, which ex are we referring, you know, like, but honestly, I feel like that's somebody that's less of a threat too in a lot of situations, because they already know why that person doesn't work out with them. Because if they got pissed off enough to break up at some point. Oh, really? No. I'm kind of cold. And then now I'm just like sitting here frozen because I'm cold. Oh, I do have a jacket. Oh, I don't have a jacket. That's not good. Thought I had a jacket over here. Do you think or no? Am I frozen again?
You put a spell on me. I'm losing my mind. You better stop these things. It's a matter of time. Before I hunt you down, grab your chin and kiss your lips.
How do I begin to practice Reiki? Well, first you have to learn how to do it, which I can teach you. Simba. Sorry, my cat is attacking the other cat. Hold on. Simba!
You put a spell on me. You better stop these games. It's a matter of time.
Monster. Monster, come here. Okay, so with Reiki, sorry, I get that it's essentially transferring chi, but I don't know where to start. Okay, well, first you should learn what chi is and how to, like, control it. There's basically an entire energy set, like, system, like, network going throughout your body. And in your body, you have 7 main chakra systems. Now, those aren't the only ones, but those are just like the main, you know, like the most notable, I guess, or the most referred to, because they're kind of like the powerhouses of the other ones, you know. Each chakra is connected with certain emotions and certain organs of the body. Got me so far? Gosh, this cat, man. Is it following so far? So I'd have to learn acupressure beforehand. No, you don't have to learn acupressure, no. Though it can be helpful if you want to expand your practice. Reiki itself, technically, you don't have any conscious thought into. Technically, you just allow the energy to be conducted through you and flow where it needs to flow. That being said, there's also energy healing. Energy healing is different than Reiki, although it uses the same energy sources. So with Reiki, the main things that you would want to learn are the symbols, which are like secrets, I guess you'd say. Like you have to have like been initiated with them. And that is one thing that we use, so it's almost like sigils, you know. That is a very big factor in it. With those symbols, you would be drawing them like in the air or visualizing them above the person or on the person or in your space or on your palms. That's a very big part of it. Other than the symbols, you also have your own visual like intention work that is necessary. So you would be basically fixing the body mentally while you're focusing the energy inward. So you just be seeing like visualizing like with the white light, things like that. Then you also would want to learn how to activate your palm chakras. Okay. So to do that, you could do it right now if you want, if you're following along. Okay. So first things first, you would want to like do circles, basically. And when you do circles, I tend to do clockwise when I'm wanting to close something off and counterclockwise when I'm wanting to open it. When you do this, you're going to want to, again, imagine or visualize an actual like light beginning to glow on your palm. And I know it sounds kind of like silly, like visualize it, you know, like just pretend like it's there, you know, but it's not that simple. It's not quite pretending. This is like, you know, your brain will register it if you have the right visualization and will actually activate certain responses due to that. So when it comes to the visualizations and things like this, it's almost like prayer work. You know, like you're literally setting the intention into the cosmos of it happening, and it will then translate to whoever's receiving. So when you are doing your palms, you want to activate them. I like to shake off afterwards. I believe that you should always cleanse yourself first before you're ever going to be working on somebody. Oh no, I know how powerful visualizations are. Yeah, they can be extremely powerful. Mostly because also whenever we are recalling a memory or visualizing something, our brain thinks that it's happening in the present time too. That's what's really interesting. So you'd always want to cleanse yourself first and cleanse your... I tell people to wash their hands with cold water first, for the practitioner and for the patient. And then you take selenite or whatever, onyx, whatever you want to use, quartz, and cleanse yourself. And then you will want to start on the person in a very superficial kind of way. So you're going to want to just sweep their energy. And you go, I'll do it on myself right here. So you'd go around like their body, you know, like this, and you'd go all the way down to the ground and take it off to the end of the feet and throwing it into the earth, basically. You'd want to sweep their entire system, and then you would want to do like figure eights on their whole system to help get it. It's kind of like if you're just like sweeping your floor, you know, you haven't mopped or anything yet, but you're just sweeping to get all the dust out of the way. So you're just dusting them off, I guess, for all the outside grime. It also disconnects like the energies that might be lingering on them from somebody else, etc. That's also what the cold water does to help. So then, after you sweep their system, you would want to set the intention of the symbol that you're going to be using. And you could either trace it across them, on top of them, or you could do it just mentally, or you could actually physically draw it on them. David Bowie, who's that? Who's David Bowie? Okay, so then... No. Hold up, you don't know David Bowie. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not... Let me look. I'll look it up. Ah, my gosh, these cats, man. Thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh. That's funny. It's because of the poofy sleeves and the poofy hair. That's funny. Like a brunette or a black-haired version, huh? Oh my god. These cats are so ridiculous right now. Yeah, that's not Under Pressure by Clean. Yep. That's the only reason I know who David is. But when you ignore me, I see it. Ignore what? I didn't see you. Hello. My cats are going insane. They're very distracting. Yeah, I think so, because I didn't see anything. Okay, so then with Reiki, the first thing that you would want to do, though, the first and foremost before anything, is after you learn how to do the symbols and all of that, you have to dedicate at least 3 weeks, if not longer. I waited 3 months, I believe, if I remember right. But it's like a 21-day or 29-day, something like that, blackout period that is necessary that you do your own Reiki every single day during. Every day. So it's basically a detox and self-activation. You also have to be, like, initiated, I guess you'd say, like, into using the symbols before you can use them by somebody that's more advanced, into using the symbols before you can use them by somebody that's more advanced. So like I could do that for you, you know, like or somebody else could do it for you, but that is a requirement before you practice on another person. This was mind blowing me. Can you please make me forget I was abused as a child? I'm now 34. I can definitely help you with that if you would like to book a rapid transformational therapy session. You can do so. Actually, if you go into my TikTok shop, you'll see a t-shirt in there that says "You Are Enough" or "I Am Enough" for $200, and that is the rapid transformational session, and you get the free t-shirt as a bonus. You know what you're talking about. So you're a therapist as well. Yes. Can you please? Oh, okay. You must be from Arizona. No, I'm not. I'm from Cali. But yes, I'm a rapid transformational therapist, and I'm also a hypnotherapist, and I'm also a Reiki energy healer, and I'm also a tarot reader, and I'm also technically ordained, but we won't get into that. And I'm a life perspective coach and relationship mediator. And I own two Etsy shops. If you want to check that out. The reason I ask about Reiki is because she knows what she's talking about. She's really smart. Thank you. The reason I ask about Reiki is because I heard it heals anything from sickness to paralysis. It can, yes. Very much so. I actually personally, using Reiki, have healed my my psoriasis, like eczema, psoriasis. Also, my shoulder had a pinched nerve that no longer bothers me. My hip used to be constantly in pain, which no longer bothers me. I used to have migraines at least like 3 times a week, and now I get maybe 1 a month, maybe, if even. I used to have chronic allergies that caused sinusitis constantly, like all seasons, all year long. And now I will just get a little bit of like I'll sneeze occasionally, but that's about it. And I also used to have majorly bad sleep issues, which also have been fully corrected now. And that's just on myself. Have you had a personal experience with it? I dealt with others who fed off my pain. People are assholes. I'm sorry that people did that to you. In that video that has my certifications, it also actually has a lot of reviews from previous clients that you could check out if you are interested. I also have BPD and PTSD. So I definitely feel you on that. Oh, and depression. And yeah, looks like we are one and the same. I definitely feel you on that. I've been through many, many, many things, and that's what has me so passionate about what I do. Because I feel like a lot of people don't understand a lot of therapists or a lot of coaches, they don't understand what true, rising up again can look like. and what people are capable of, because I feel like they keep them trapped in a victim mentality to keep them as clients. And that's why I specifically learned rapid transformational therapy, because it's rapid. So my goal is to get you healed up as quickly as possible and out living your life. I'm not the type that expects somebody to be a client for much longer than maybe even 6 weeks, unless they're choosing to, because hopefully it's going to be corrected within that time. I think that the people that spend years and years and years in therapy are being done a major injustice. And I feel like and the people that are just getting medicated and not actually treated properly, or taught the skills and the coping mechanisms and the strengths that they can form from these things that are problematic, I feel like those people are really being sold short too. It's very unfortunate, and that is part of why I got so heavily into this. They don't, no matter the diplomas. I'm a money maker, not a healed client. I've been in therapy, right? And that's it, literally, it irks my soul. It's it bothers me very bad. I'm like people will come to me and they're like, I've been in therapy for 7 years. I'm like, for what? For new things? Have new things occurred? And they're like, no, it's for the same things. I just still need to go to therapy. I'm like, no, that's not healing. That's How do I get a reading? You could do a mini reading if you'd like to send a donation to Cash App, or if you'd like to actually book a reading, then you could do that through my website or through the link on my page, on my profile. Medicated with 39 pills a day due to my mental illness. Wow. And see, that then leads to health problems later on because of all the pills that you're taking. I think it's really, that's also why I learned in so many different types of categories of holistic healing and things, because I wanted to be able to offer a a little cocktail of everything that the person might be able to benefit from. My mother has been paralyzed my whole life, so if I could do that, that'd be the ultimate gift to her. What did she become paralyzed because of? I'm 34 and my kidneys are failing me, as my liver. Yeah, and with kidneys, kidneys are actually, it's usually an inherited, inherited energy of worry. And then, so an ancestral worry. So maybe if your parents were always concerned about money or something, and then now or about safety, and then now you are, because you inherited that worry from them. It can also just be from self-worry and concern. With your liver, it's with anger, but it's also with the ability to accomplish things on your own. And that that passionate burn, when you get riled up about something and you want to just handle it, that would be liver energy. So what happens with any illnesses or any diseases or any injuries, even paper cut, the reason that they will show up on certain people and not other people, and the reason that it'll show up in certain areas of our bodies, is because that's a spot where we already have a predisposed weakness or blockage, or emotional trauma. So if you're from a nerve virus, when he left at age of 13, I haven't heard from him in over. Oh, I think your previous one got censored, which is so weird, because I actually have it so it won't filter comments. I have that setting turned off, but it's still filtering people's comments. I don't know why. And yet it'll let troll comments come through. It's so weird. TikTok doesn't know what they're filtering. But yeah, if you would like to,
You put a spell on me. Always in my mind.
if you would like to book a consultation call with me, you could do that on my website. It's AmberEnergyHealer.com. Or you could also purchase a session through my TikTok shop. There, you'll see a t-shirt that says it's $200, and that's the session. You get the free t-shirt. I'm sorry, I didn't know I said anything offensive. I just wish I knew why 20 years earlier my dad left. See, that's such a weird comment to filter. I don't understand. It baffles me. I don't know. I have that setting turned off even. But you want to know why? Well, here's. Sorry, if you see me pause like that, it's because sometimes like I get censored. You know, like from like messages that I'm getting. So just so you know. You haven't spoken to him. I didn't say anything. It was sensitive to bots. Probably kicked up the keyboard. You didn't hear anything from him after he left? Or anything about him? I feel like it had to do with possibly a relationship. And him having the lack of skills. Possibly like major, like maybe financial issues on top of that. And he was scared of judgment. That being said, my question for you would be, if you were to be able to either get over the situation and release him, not get over the situation, but like heal the situation so that it's no longer painful, or receive that answer but still keep the current pain and confusion and what you're going through, which would you pick? Pain and torture of wishing I could change it. That's the one that you would get going with?
Even less than $10? These casual shoes are now on
But
clearance for only $8.95. Soft and
so you would just want to heal the
slip
pain,
resistant, easy to walk. Click the video
even if
to
you
get the-
didn't have the actual answer of why. Because here's the thing. With situations with parents, it's oftentimes interpreted by the child that it was their fault. And it's to forgive him and heal my pain no matter his apology, right? Because his apology wouldn't do anything for what's already happened, right? And that's why some people get really trapped in the past because they're holding on, waiting for that apology. And so what we would do is that we would go into your subconscious memories, like in a session, and we would find the points in time that you started to feel like you were being abandoned or rejected or not loved or not enough for him, whatever your key issue is, like whatever your key, like, you know, that core belief. And then we would reframe it and help you to release it, and then reframe it, and then transform it. And then what happens is it won't eliminate the situation from happening, and it's not going to eliminate the memories that you will have of the situation. However, what it will do is it reframes and transforms your perception of how that memory affects you. And it also, so basically, if somebody made you feel like abandoned, it's going to give you a different mindset and a different reframe of what actually could be perceived as something not meant to be a lifelong trauma, right? Like, and I know it's kind of hard to explain without having it like actually like an example happening in real life, because I don't want to like talk about any of my past clients' cases, you know, like, but it's basically a way of altering your actual memory perspective. Does that make sense? Like, so the way that you look at something, or the way that something impacted you, and removing that knife out of the back, basically. It also gives you the opportunity to actually get out of your system the things that you wish that you could say or wanted to say, and to hear their voice from what your subconscious is aware of. It's very, very, very beneficial practice, and I would highly recommend it. I've personally done it in multiple areas of my life. And then here's the other thing that is, if you're not interested in rapid transformational, me as a perspective coach, so we're shifting over hats now, you know, but as a perspective coach, yes, it makes sense. I just wish he would hear me and understood my stand on leaving behind. Now, from a perspective coach perspective, this is where you look for the full accountability of all parties, but you also look for, in my, at least the way that I do it is a bit different than other coaches, but I believe in looking at your own shadow first, because your shadow is oftentimes what's triggering your triggers or your responses and your reactions. It's either your ego or your shadow. And when we look at that, we have to think of situations like, do you have any kids? I see, okay. And I take it you are heavily involved in their life? And is their dad in their lives along with you? what's my reading? Well, if you want to send a donation to my Cash App right there, then I will do one for you. Yes, to our biological and one stepdad. And it gives pretty good perspective of battling inner turmoil. Ooh, I haven't. I will check that out. So each of them do have their dads, though, in their lives. Sorry, it was just confusing how it came up. But I know you had to send it in pieces because of this darn filter. And you don't have to answer these things. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even been pressing like personal information. But you don't have to answer all of these questions if you don't want to. Since there's other people in here, we can always like have a private conversation later. Just putting that disclaimer out here. Like, don't feel like you have to answer in front of people. I'm just a curious kitty, I guess. Because there's always so many layers to things, you know. And I believe in the biggest picture being the one that is needing to be found first. Yes, I do. I have a 15-year-old whose dad is abusive and the other is perfect. Awesome. That makes me laugh. I understand there isn't you. Okay, so that's awesome. And what about how was your mom with the situation with your dad? The reason I'm asking all these things is because me personally, I was not ready when I had my baby, and I ended up relinquishing my custody to him when he was 2 years old, to his dad. And it was supposed to be originally for paperwork purposes, but then it ended up biting me in the butt, and I ended up losing him entirely because I didn't have any rights to him. And so the way that it all went down, though, as far as from my son's perspective, would be me just not showing up anymore. Being there one day and not showing up anymore. And what in reality was going on was a lot of games from the other people around and a lot of unfortunate circumstances that were happening, and a lot of my own ignorance and immaturity and addictions, and just there's a lot that was going on, and narcissistic family. And I couldn't explain that to him, and I also was not willing to fight around him. So he never would have witnessed anything of me combating what was going on. And instead, I ended up just not showing up one day. And the reason for that, though, was because he told me that I wasn't allowed to leave anymore. And when he said that, I asked him why, and he said, because I get mad when I get sad, and I get sad when I miss you, and I miss you when you're gone, so Mommy, no go anymore. And when he said that, I told him, I promised him I would be there the next day. I'm not somebody that breaks a promise very easily. And the next day, another game was played, and I wasn't allowed to see him. And at that point, because I had just broken that promise to him, and he had already been getting like traumatized by the situation of me being there and not being there, that I chose to then remove myself entirely and just stopped fighting because I gave up, basically, because I didn't know what to do, and I wasn't in the right space to be caring for him. And it took 5 years before I made contact again. He then chose to not talk to me for another 2, and then another 2 years later I got custody back. But that entire time, though, in his perspective, it would have been me not loving him. But in reality, it was me struggling very much and going through a lot that I didn't want to put him through with me, because it wasn't his battle to be fighting. And so, although I would definitely say that I apologize for his pain that he went through, I can't honestly say that I apologize for removing myself, because I would have been toxic for him at the time. So it becomes almost a double-edged sword, where it's like, if you have been gone for a long time, it's very uncomfortable to come back around, for one. But for two, how do you explain why you were gone if it's your own, if you are not willing to admit it? I'm personally one of those types. I'm an open book. I'll admit all of my faults before somebody else will call me on them. So that part was easy for me. But most people don't have that self-awareness type, like indiscretion. Sorry, let me read these comments real quick. I can't read that far away. My mom hates my dad, and she had a boyfriend who took my first baby. She let him back. I'm so sorry. I was 17 when I had my first son, but my mother allowed his abusive father. He kept me as self-hurting and kept my son, and my mother allowed him to intervene and got custody of my son. I fought my entire life to not be a victim. However, that's all I know. Okay, yeah. You came back to him, though. He'll respect it when he can fully understand it. And, that's the thing. Whether he, even if he doesn't, I know that I made the choice, and that's that. And when it comes to situations like in yours with your mom very much let you down in those situations. And in my family, nobody noticed what was going on with me, and I also wasn't speaking up on it, but it was pretty obvious, I would think, but nobody noticed. And I held a lot of resentment for a very long time, and a lot of anger, so much anger for things that I felt like had happened to me. And but then I realized one day, and same with how I lost my son for that time, I was so mad. Like, why does it always have to happen to me? Why am I the one that this is happening to? Why, do other people have it so much easier? And then I woke up one day and I realized, where are those people that had hurt me? They're not here. They're not with me. I'm with me. And so the only way that I can even be affected by those things in the past anymore is by me thinking about them and letting them affect me, which means essentially I'm carrying those other people's guilt for them. And once I realized the past is literally gone, and I'm now so much more skilled or advanced or understanding or compassionate or just stronger because of those things that happened, that's when I started really deciding I was going to start honestly gaslighting myself. And not to tell myself that it didn't matter what happened, but to let myself be happy again. She didn't notice, even though I told her it set security in my room as noisy papers to alert me. Oh my gosh, when I was little, I made a jewelry box with a string going around my door, and then when the door would open, it would lift up the jewelry box lid, so it was like an alarm. So yeah, I feel she knew, but only wished to serve herself and her happiness and needs. And just as a disclaimer, anything that I say that seems like I'm in support of or being compassionate towards your abusers or towards the people that hurt you or let you down, Do not take it as me defending them. I just want to set that out right now. It's not that I'm defending them. It's that there's multiple layers, like I said, to everything. And sometimes things are not as they present themselves. Oh my gosh, your makeup love. Thank you. I just only wish to feel happiness. Others succeed in experience suffering. I don't even care if I'm truly happy. Just gaslighting to believe I'm happy and healed. Yeah, I could definitely help you. I could definitely help you. What I did with my situations is I went and I did shadow work, and I thought of everything that I could think of that would make it where I would make those same choices as the people. So I started studying mental health problems. And that, again, it's not an excuse for their actions. It's an understanding of your lack of responsibility for their actions. It's understanding why they are screwed up the way that they are, so that you can understand that you were not the one that needed to be a repercussion because of them being screwed up. Like, to depersonalize the idea of it being an attack at you as a person versus them being a screwed up person who just is attacking outward. Does that make sense? Like, because in my head there was a difference, at least, to being somebody that somebody targeted because I was not good enough, or because I was this, or because I was weak, etc., versus somebody who was a predator, or somebody that was simply damaged, running around inflicting damage, and me being a collateral. That, in my head, made it a lot easier to let go of a lot of the anger. Kind of like, I completely understand you of your own expectations and experiences. Reading philosophy dug me out of a few external scenarios. Yeah. So like, let's see what's a good example. So like with one of my parents, major alcoholic, just angry, mean, manipulative, like conniving, like insulting, just like mean, and I now as an adult like reflect back, and I'm like, I started thinking about everything that was done, or everything that could have happened differently, as far as like, you know, us showing respect, or us being appreciative for how much hard work was happening, and then like just the exhaustion of working, you know, and of dealing with all the stress and everything. And then I started looking into what alcoholism is driven by, and then I started looking into you know, the background, like, so like growing up during the Depression, you know, versus like, so just in that constant struggle and need of survival type mindset. And then like once I started having all of those realizations of how much was really piled up on the person's plate, it made it a lot less like damaging to let go of the things that were said to me, or the things that were done, because it was like, okay, well, that person just lost it. They were weak. They were the one that they were having, you know, they were collapsing. And hurt people. So that's nothing personal to myself then. And that helped a lot. Wish that was enough. I have a double master's in philosophy and psychology. Oh, nice. Agreed, my papa and I were born in the Great Depression and dealt with it. I almost my end a few times through alcohol. Yeah. Well, when you are drinking, it's actually in an attempt to actually open yourself up spiritually and be connected to like God's source again. and to boost your confidence in life because you feel like you are not. Well, my father grew up with his dad shooting at him. Okay, right there, right? So that would definitely probably be a bit traumatic for the father, right? To have your own dad shooting at you. Now, the problem with when it comes to fathers and mothers is that we only know what we've learned. We only know what we witnessed. And so a parent not being around, that's why I was asking about your kids' dads, because you not being with them anymore is realistically, most likely, you being programmed to not see the couple stay together because of your mom and dad. And so that means you've actually leveled up and you're breaking those generational curses because at least you picked the fathers who were actually going to still be involved in their lives, which is beautiful. But the idea of not staying with them is most likely a programming thing. And once you realize that, then you can start, handling it accordingly. And same with your dad, if he felt like he was attacked by his father, or if he felt like he needed to run from his father, that could definitely, or if his father made him feel very demeaned or weakened or like worthless or unloved, those are all going to be programs that he's running as well, and it could instigate him to not feeling capable of stepping up as a man, or being fearful of hurting somebody that he loves, or just not having the skills of an actual relationship as a father, resulting in a runner. Does that make sense? So it's almost like his software almost, like it didn't get updated and it got corrupted instead, and he just got the file copied over to himself rather than getting the update and fixing the issues, which is why it's so important to fix the issues, and to address them. Maybe subconsciously, but my main goal is to no longer feel and to forget. Yeah, it's always on a subconscious level, yeah. His father made me bounce a quarter of the bed sheets to ensure its compliance. My father always felt ignored and unloved, however, I feel he should have moved on to love. Oh, yeah. Yeah, again, it's not an excuse, because he, as an adult, had every opportunity to try to find healing for himself, rather than inflicting it on you also. But it is also, I feel, very important to keep in mind, though, that he was programmed into feeling inadequate and incapable, which means he saw as somebody who deserved somebody capable. Does that make sense? So yes, he didn't present it in a way that was, you would have wanted him to step up as himself and show you why, you deserve the love. But he obviously was not strong enough to do that because of his own issues and own problems. But the underlying message, though, in that is that he thought that you deserved better. He was engineered morally, ethically, biologically into loving me as his daughter, yet he ignored that all while I loved him and didn't know. Now I know, and he wants nothing to do with me. What's my expected expiration date? Your expiration date? How'd you have an expected one? But Shauna, if you would like to do a consultation call or book a session for coaching or anything, or for hypnosis or rapid transformational, anything like that, please visit my website. Because I'm going to be getting off of live right now, but I would love to continue speaking with you about it, because I think that we could make a lot of progress that your other therapies have not. And you definitely deserve that after all this time. But one bit of advice that I can give right now would be to no longer let yourself tell the story of what happened in full details. So, start talking about in your childhood the things that were happy about it, and no longer talk about, like, in daily conversation, things like that, the things that were hurtful about it. Those things you will still be working with. I mean, with journaling, I'm sure, with if we do a session, we'll be working with them then. But in your daily conversations, do your best to try to put the positive memories as what you are sharing or putting your energy towards. Because every time we retell a memory, it alters it in some way, shape, or form. So, and what we're doing is we're telling the memory in the way that we remembered hearing it last. We only go off of the last time we told it. So if you slowly start change, and that's something that I would work with you in like perspective coaching with, where we would start altering the memories to no longer be painful ones, by gradually inputting the positive ones into it, and removing the negative ones out. And then with rapid transformational, we can actually go in and get those memories out, and get them reframed for you. So it would be very, very helpful. Yeah, I somewhat plan to be dead by 20. I'm so glad that you didn't. And are you happier now? Are you glad that that did not get accomplished? Definitely, perfect. Okay, but I'm going to get going because my boyfriend's trying to come in, and so I need to end the live so he can go to bed since he's got work in the morning. But I will be back on tomorrow, and hopefully Shauna or Blake, either one of you, hopefully I hear from you guys, and yeah, so thank you for visiting. Oh, but actually first, let me follow Shauna. Oops. So she can message me. Oh my gosh. If it'll let me.